Okay, in this training we're going to go over how to verify an address and check a credit using the lead object. So first we're going to come to safeforce.us and we're going to log in with our email address and our password. Okay, so then we're going to hit on the top left the 3 lines to bring up the sidebar, and on the sidebar we're going to hit leads. The old way used to be that you would hit contacts, but now you're going to do it through the leads. And it's going to bring you to your recently viewed leads. And you can also change the view here to see all of your leads, but we're going to hit the bottom plus symbol that says new at the bottom. Okay. And it's going to come up with a few things right here. The sales rep's going to be just you, and it's going to already be programmed in there, so you don't actually have to do this. And then we're going to enter in the customers first. And last name. Lead status is going to be open. Lead source you can leave blank. We can put in a phone number and email address here if we have it. The ones with the red asterisk, those are the fields that are required. So the birth month, and this has to be correct, and the birthday, and then the birth year, and 4 digits. So the last 4 of the Social Security number, if you have this, then you should put it in here. However, it is required, but if you don't have it, you can just enter in all 8s, or 4 8s, excuse me. So then the next part is we're going to do the house number. The street name, and on the street name, it's going to be just the name. So if it's 495 University Parkway, don't put Parkway here. We're going to come down to the street type to put the Parkway in. Now, this is the part that's a little bit confusing. So you put that info there, but then you come down to the address part to put in the city, state, and zip. So we're going to hit city, tab over, state is 2 characters, so Utah, UT, and then the zip code. And you can leave country blank. Now, if the customer's been at their address for less than 2 years, then you need to put in a previous address. And that's pretty self-explanatory. The street number, the street name, the city, the state, the street type, zip code, and unit number if there is one. And then we're going to scroll back up to the top, and we're going to hit save. And I can hit edit here. If you look at the bottom, there are 5 little icons. Edit is right there if I needed to edit something, if I typed it in incorrectly. The first one is verify address though. So you have to do it in this order. You have to click verify address first before you can actually check the credit. And what the verify address does is it actually, tab over on this one. Is it will actually check ADT's system to see if this person is an ADT customer, if they ever were an ADT customer, if they were canceled for non-pay, if they canceled within the last 90 days. Just tells you if you can or cannot install the customer. So we're going to hit the verify address part. It's going to say, hey, you haven't done this before, so you need to do it. So I'm going to hit run new verification. And it might not actually work on this one just because, okay, it did. So, and then I get the number and a link right there. I can click on that, and it's going to give me a little bit of info. And now this is going to change. ADT is going to give us more and more info, which is nice. Right now it doesn't give us a whole lot, but Well, it'll give us if a guard fee is required. It'll end up giving us if there's like a fee, a permit fee that's required. You see right here, it already does that. The police permit required is no. If it were, it would say yes. And if ADT knew the fee, then they could pass that along. If they had ADT at one point, it'll give us their old account number sometimes. And then it'll format the address. It just formats it into a way that ADT can read. And this is just really important because when we shell an account, we want to have this formatted address in because if it's wrong, then sometimes it throws up problems. So even though I threw in there 495 University Parkway, it corrected it to 495 West. It added the +4 and on the zip code so that there's extra 4 numbers. And then it gave me this code, right? So it said NAIP address verification result code is 2. And this layout's going to change to make it a little bit easier as soon as we find out all the stuff ADT is going to pass along. But under the instruction, it has a red flag, and that's basically what you're going to look for. Is if it's green, then you're good to go. If it's red, then you should not install it. There'll also be a yellow, which will mean that we just need to investigate it a little bit further, which almost certainly involves us calling ADT, which can only happen, Monday through Friday during business hours. So a lot of times those are ones you're probably just going to want to push through, and we're going to flag it and we're going to want to check on it as soon as we can by calling ADT. And that's it for so you've done that. So we hit the back button at the top left. We're back on the lead, and now we want to run the credit check. So we're going to hit the credit check button at the bottom where it looks like a little credit card. And actually, let me just go back really quick. Let me cancel that and just make sure that we have it all in there. Okay, so now we're going to hit credit check. It's going to let me know, hey, it's never been checked before, but you need to do this before converting the lead. So I'm going to run it. It does take a second, so give it a second to do it. And this one, it's telling me decision code, undecisioned, decision text, duplicate request, right? And that's just because I've tried this already under this address, and so it knows that, so it's not trying to hit the customer's credit again. But this is where you would find out if it was approved or declined, and you can get a little bit more info here. Now it doesn't give you a score anymore, it gives you a letter. But so we'll hit the link, the blue number, and we can go to it, and it'll do a couple of things. It's telling me, hey, this is not approved. The reason, score cut policy. This one's a little bit weird just because you normally won't see that. And then normally it would have a name match. And what the name match is, that's really important because sometimes when we check a credit through the system, we'll type in, John Smith. We'll spell it John, but then the customer's name will come back Jonathan Smith, right? In the past, ADT would flag that if we ended up signing the customer up. They would say, hey, this person you signed up was John Smith, but they're really Jonathan Smith. How come you didn't put Jonathan Smith? And so what this does is it just kind of gives you a warning if the names don't match, because you want the names to match, just to prevent any problems that could happen. It's not really going to be a huge deal, not going to change a whole lot, but it's just something to keep in mind. And we'll probably cover that as it gets a little bit later. But because what it will do is it'll actually update the name for you, so you don't really have to do it. And that's it. So we'll go back. The credit check will be in there. And you'll be done verifying the address and checking the credit. So then the last step is to convert the account if you've sold it. And I'm hoping this will let me do it. I didn't get a hit back, so it might not. But you're going to hit the 3 dots at the bottom that says Show More. And you're going to hit Convert. And it's going to bring this up, and it's going to, it's qualified as by default. Jay Mowers, the record owner. And and you're not going to need to hit that. And you're just going to hit convert. And then it's just a normal account, and so you're on the account page. Oh, this is actually the contact. But you would go through the normal process from there, as far as creating the account and as if you normally would. Just check really quick. Yep. Oh, sorry, I converted it to a contact, but that's going to be to a person account, and then you're done. So it's not a lot of differences. Biggest thing is instead of going to contacts, you go to leads, and then you're going to create new lead at the bottom, and you're going to type in all the info here. And now there's a spot for previous address, which is good, so that you can check it if they've moved within the last 2 years. And you're going to always have to run the address verification first.